think it's true. I think it's partly true. I think part of it is true, but a lot of it might be lies. I don't know. I read it on Facebook, so yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, so basically, what was I saying before? Fellow Republic, yeah. So basically, I think there was a sort of a similarity between Zohran Mamdani and Trump in a sense of when Trump in 2016 was campaigning in the primaries, he was attacking all the other Republicans and he was calling them neocons and he was calling them establishments people and he was positioning himself as the outsider, the anti-establishment guy, right? And in some ways, so Trump wasn't just attacking Democrats, he was attacking Republicans and Democrats, and he was the outsider. If you look a little bit at how Zohran Mamdani has actually campaigned, in some ways, I think it was in his advantage that Cuomo stayed in the race and he was fighting against another Democrat, right, as well as a Republican, because he was going less hard at the actual Republican Silva than he was actually at Cuomo, obviously because Cuomo was a bigger threat as well. So I think from that point of view, it was interesting to watch, and it did remind me a little bit of, obviously a different person, different the way he talks, but just in terms of the approach, was that both Trump and Mamdani both went against the establishment Democrats at the same, but also against Trump as well. So he was the outsider, not against both parties. And I think there's a lot of attraction to that. I think a lot of young people don't see themselves as Democrats and they don't see themselves as Republicans. They more see themselves as them versus, maybe more establishment people, maybe older people, not all older people, some older people. And so when Mamdani said during the speech, turn up the volume, in a sense, he's saying, this is a new generation. You need to turn up the volume because this is a new generation. He picked up that young people, not just young people, but immigrants, people who'd been ignored before. How many times during an election in America did you see people target people from Asia or, from India or Pakistan or all these countries? Yet some of those countries have the biggest amount of immigration coming into the United States. The amount of people coming from India and Pakistan and Asia is huge compared to European. So he's tapped into a group of people who were being ignored. Two groups of people that were being ignored: young people and immigrants from Southeast Asia, that sort of thing, or just immigrants in general. So he really tapped into that.